Because of what I have been through, I think I'm even the one who told my second daughter's teacher that she's an auditory learner.
Yeah.
Because I used to get feedback that she's rebellious, sometimes when they want her to do something, then she would scream and say she can't do. I'm like, no, it is because she doesn't do it the way you are trying to force her to do it. So
Right.
because she doesn't know, her reaction to not wanting what you are trying to impose on her is the screaming and leaving the classroom.
Right.
And when I, because of my experience, made the teacher understand her learning style, like things are getting better. I know that after an hour, she can't absorb anything. She needs a break after an hour.
So if you're watching this, you are live on Parenting Dialogue. In fact, I think this pandemic has actually given us an insight to why parents should be more involved in their children or their wards' academics. Today, Madam Gifty will be joining us on Skype on the discussion. Are you encouraging parents to provide digital devices like for auditory learners? When you discover that your child learns better by listening and then talking or speaking, you provide a digital device that could help, because I hear that's a way they learn. At a very young age, people are not too open to providing or giving them digital devices. How do we go about these things?
You see, with the digital devices, yes, is an approach to solving this problem, helping
Right.
auditory learners, catch up with the people who learn the normal way. But in Ghana, it isn't just about provide. We have internet access being a challenge and all that. We will get to that part.
Right.
But also, if you are not able to say afford, because you need to buy a tablet and all that, it isn't every parent who can afford. And so your way of helping could be, to get all those materials on YouTube. There are a lot of, teaching and learning materials on YouTube.
I see.
You first of all get to know the syllabus your ward is working at school, is working with at school. Most parents don't know that it is something worth knowing. So every first term, for me, for instance, I asked my girls' teacher, what is their syllabus for this semester, or this term, sorry, because they are kids, this term. So when I get to know the syllabus, then I look for, learning materials that is around, they are still young, that is, more similar to what they are learning is in school.
Yeah.
So I copy that, put it on a pen drive, and show it on TV for them on weekends.
Oh, okay.
So there are times they'll go like, mommy, I learned this. I'm like, yes, I got it. That is my way of getting involved.
Right.
I must be better than, how my mom treated me.
Yeah.
And over here, you realize that a lot of people are so much involved. It's unfortunate we don't get involved in kids learning early enough, and when they grow and they are not able to pass exams like other kids, we complain. These things must be started from the get-go.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? You must get to know these things. So what I am doing is to create awareness. No, I shouldn't say surprisingly. Most people didn't know about this auditory learning, all that I was talking about.
Yeah.
So you get some parents saying, oh, Gifty, thank you. I didn't know about this thing at all. So there are lots of materials on Google. You can just Google and read about it. Learn people, auditory learners who have made it, share their stories and all that. Learn about them or read about them, and use some of the lessons you get from listening and reading about these things on your child to make your child better, or to help your child, as it were.
So in your experience being a mother and also working with your NGO as the communications director, what would you advise parents to do? In Ghana or in some places around the world, they want to teach the child, but they don't want the child to feel like it's okay to be lazy or disrespectful, and so the child is afraid to open up. You did mention that communication is key. So how do you get the child to open up without coming off as too strict, not too flexible? Where do we draw the line?
So I always use myself as an example.
Okay.
It is because of the struggles I've been through in schools with my teachers and all that has made me more like of an experienced person in dealing with these things in my words. Not everybody, some people had it smoothly. Some people were very, like visual learners and all that, and so they expect their kids to act the same way. And so human behaviors is one area that parents should, get to read about or get to understand. That human beings, the fact that you are like this way doesn't mean your child is going to be the exact way. There's always going to be one child who wouldn't be like every other child you have. So it goes back to the point that I made. Study your children. I know that we need to make the money for these same kids, but you need to make time for your children. No matter how small the time is, you need to make time for your children. That there's something I have learned in this country that, that you hear some people saying that until I get this amount of money in my bank account, I'm not having kids. You ask them and they're like, because if I have children, I won't have time to do full-time job. Yeah. And it makes sense a lot. In Ghana, majority of us don't plan to have kids.
Right.
We just have them. We just have them. And when they come, we say that God will take care of them. Yes, God will take care of them, but God works with plan.
Yeah.
And so moving on, those who don't have kids, I think even if you are in university and you have plans of making children someday, that is the time to plan for your kids, the number of kids you want to have, so that you work towards, saving enough money so that when they finally come around, you would have time for them. You need to make time for your kids. We don't have to. Most of us are complaining and are frustrated because we gave that responsibility to teachers. You need to make time for your kids. Yeah. I know that I am trying, but I can do better. Way back in Ghana, there are lots of things like, media work is such that you are always at the office. But I made sure that even if it's 30 minutes before I get to work, I make time for them. So that we had a routine. You get it?
Yeah.
So everybody's waking. If mommy comes home late and we are not able to do the homework will be done in the morning. So if you know that, so I tell them early enough that I am not coming home early today.
Yeah.
So you have to sleep so that the next morning, mommy can do the homework with you before you go to school or before mommy goes to work. It's a schedule.
Wow.
And as time goes on, they get used to it. And like I'm saying, I can be better because I look at people here and I learn things from them, the way they are, helping their kids learn and all that. So it can be better. And looking at how my mom got involved, that's why I said that being an illiterate is not an excuse, for you not getting involved. You might not know, but you can ask someone who knows to help their child by bringing these people at home periodically to help your children. And they would explain the condition of your child in whatever language that would understand. You understand, to help them. Yeah. Because coronavirus is here. Moving on, e-learning cannot be, discarded. It must continue.
Yeah.
It must continue till whoever knows. Because in the past, the discussion was providing infrastructure, but now it is access.
Yeah.
E-learning platforms and all that. So maybe I think parents should, if they have time, they should, do courses on this e-learning, how to go about it. There are free courses online. It's sad that most of most of the people are not taking advantage of the lot of free things online now. Like what we are doing now can be a research material.
Yeah.
Which is going to be free, posted on your page, right? That you can always refer to. So some of these things, there are lots of free stuff online. So if you are just home and you are not as busy as the frontline health workers now, you can take advantage, of these things. Go online and be reading around instead of just having fun on social media.
Any other thing you would like to add to for our audience?
Any other thing? Yes. What? E-learning, like I said, have come to stay.
Right.
And just as I suggested that parents, do some courses on this e-learning, teachers can also do same.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because now that is more like going to be any teacher with this kind of IT background would be, on top, would have an advantage.
Yeah.
So if you're a teacher who doesn't have any IT background, how to, do courses and all that online and all that, maybe there's a time you also can, study in that area. Sorry. And also, I have been thinking that unfortunately, some pupils are disadvantaged, and the bad news is those who are learning now and those who are not learning will all write the same exams. You understand?
Yeah.
And so how do we make sure that they are not disadvantaged? Because it isn't every parent who can provide iPads. It isn't every parent who can afford weekly internet and all that. So how do we make it? So I was thinking that maybe we take a look at the syllabus, primary schools, JSS. This is on like the education ministry.
Yeah.
This goes to our decision makers. Maybe they take a look at the syllabus, compressing it or taking some things out, the very difficult ones. I don't know how they would go about it, but I'm sure there's a way, they can go about it to make sure that when everything comes back to normal, everybody would be able to, study one particular thing that they'll be writing exams on. I don't know if you get. I am making a point so that those who don't have the advantage of learning now can also be on the same level with those who are learning. Again, one thing that I've been thinking about, which goes to radio stations and TV stations, is that we are all complaining that this is not to back any government, but we are all complaining that schools have opened and all that. If we are supposed to be the agenda setters, you understand?
Yes.
If we are supposed to be the people who lead discussions in the public sphere, then instead of following politicians and reporting what they are doing, why don't we ignore them and give back to society? Giving back being, like I said, there are a lot of these learning stuff online. We can be showing it on our media platforms for free for these people as a way of giving back. So we go on YouTube, or maybe go to the education service, get their syllabus. Maybe get some of the teachers, to come and teach 30 minutes live TV program, radio program. We communicate the times ahead on WhatsApp so that parents will know that at this time there's going to be a lesson for, say, class 6 pupils on, say, TV3 GH1. You understand?
Yes.
That way, the politicians would be compelled to inculcate that in their various manifestos. It's like and these are some of the things I say, and you want to create. That is true, because it is like they are rather setting the agenda for us now.
I'm glad you mentioned.
I always say that.
Yeah.
It is my stand. Until you are doing something to correct the wrong, you don't have the right to criticize it. That is my opinion. Because for the problems, reporting about the problems, we all know the problems already. What are the solutions? It could be that my Facebook platform is just a little, but I believe that in my own small way, I am contributing to solving a problem.
Right.
So these are things that the TV stations, radio stations can take up and help parents as a way of giving back to society.
Yeah.
Instead of following politicians and reporting on their supposed noise and their insults and all that, we can ignore them. Do this. When we ignore them and we are doing this, they would have no option than to come and follow us in this.
That's true.
By helping us get a solution. That is my opinion. I mean, not everybody would support this, but this is what I think.
Yeah. A lot of us love the sensationalism that the media always provides. But quite a number of media houses are actually doing what you are just suggesting right now. I think there's even a channel now we call the Ghana Learn channel. I'd like to commend them for what they are doing. And then I think there are certain times within the day that the multimedia group also provide some of these learning platforms on their various channels. And then I think City FM and City TV is also doing some, which is commendable, just like you suggested. So that was Madam Gifty.
I think one last.
Oh, okay. You would like to add another thing? Okay.
Yes. I just remembered. It's something I've been thinking about. Our telcos, how are they helping us? Maybe they should have discounted prices for internet service, to access some of these e-learning platforms. So because we are all in trouble. So if, say, you are going on YouTube to study or access a particular channel, you wouldn't be charged the same amount as you going to say watch a movie. I don't know how they went, but I'm sure there's a way. This can also help. So you realize that everybody is getting involved. That way, if we are doing our part, then we have something to stand on to bash whichever political party that is not, in our opinion, is not helping us. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Yes. So the telcos, parents, and like you said, TV stations.
Okay. So, Madam Gifty, thank you very much for joining us again. Some of the issues you've raised, even though they were not part of our discussions, are very important, especially for the stakeholders in the educational sector. So that was Madam Gifty Annobel. She is the Communications Director for Educational Communities Worldwide, and she also joined us for this discussion. So for those of you who joined remotely, we are grateful for tuning in to watch this program. There are so many others like this that will be bringing you away from time to time. So if you are on YouTube, you subscribe and then continue to follow us. If you're on Facebook, you like and then follow our page as well. I'm Cecilia Ansa Mekula Diesop, and this has been Parenting Dialogues once again. Thank you for watching.